Good morning. We're back. We're back for more programming and coding live. Live, coming to you from Kansas City. It is Code, Coffee, and Chat with Stephen Freeborn. Hey, what's up, Our Studios? I'm grinding? Nice. Nothing wrong with a little grinding in the AM. Well, I guess it's not AM for you, is it? Working on another game? Nice. Very cool. What's this game about? Good morning, Oblivious. Good to see you. Gonna pin that. Okay. All right. No. What does lurk do? I think it it just yeah, it just that was a command, Ducky Dev, we added yesterday at Stefan's request. One of our illustrious YouTube members and longtime supporters requested a lurk command, so we added that one. Also, hello, Ducky Dev. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Getting situated here. Getting situated. Let's see. We got message pinned. Oh, Discord event. Let's see. We have to copy the share link from over here. We have to put that there. Next. I wish there was an easy way. Let's see. Paste that in there. What time is it? It's 4:35. 4:35 a.m. to 7 a.m. All right. Okay, and then we need to check on whoever the members are. Hey, what's up, Suos? Good to see you. I'm very happy right now because the embassy added Starlink to our building. So now we have access to American social media such as Twitter without using VPN. Nice! Nice! What? Hold on, though, but why are you at an embassy? Do you live at an embassy? That's pretty crazy. Did you see the video I sent you? I did see it. I haven't watched it yet. But I did see it in your DM that you sent me. Good morning, 199. Good to see you. I just going based off the title, based on your question there about hooking a brain to an actual computer, like connecting those two. I think we're a ways off from that being a thing. I mean, I know Neuralink has some experimental technology, but I think we're a ways off from doing anything quite like that. Or at least like on a big scale, right? Like on like a scale that would impact all of humanity. But it's a cool idea, you know. I think it's a really neat idea. I need to check. Let's see. Do I have any more new members? No, no new members. All right. Now we can officially begin day 12, part 1. Okay, I will go on dev my game, so I won't be talking too much. No worries, man. No worries. You grind. I'll code right alongside you. Another day, another problem solved. Yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna try. I remember Livy yesterday said that she hadn't quite finished day 12, and I also heard. I think I read your message yesterday or somebody's message yesterday that said day 11 was supposed to be hard. Just wait for day 12. So we'll see how this goes. He did it with an energetic as growth substance and homemade neuron receptors. If a random YouTuber with little technology can do it, imagine what the corporations and government can do. Yeah, I haven't watched his video, so I don't know exactly what he did. So I can't speak to it, but I still think we're a ways off from that being a thing. Ducky Dev, no crimes. Bad Ducky Dev. Bad Ducky Dev. No crimes. Good morning, Epic Groover. Good to see you. We're gonna try to make some magic happen today. All right. The thing I want to be good about today is I want to try to do this in a methodical, part by part, piece by piece, and not get completely fucked up by just how complex the solution is. Because yesterday was hard until we took the time and until chat kind of coached me through piece by piece, step by step. So let's do get checkout feature day 12 part 1. I hope you're doing well, Epic. Alright, let's start by making new dir 12. Then we'll bring down the problem and the puzzle. And then day like that. Now let's go ahead and fire up NeoVim. It's impossible for me to get my sleep straight. I watched one streamer hack on a challenge until 5 a.m. Now I'm watching Steven. I'm addicted to programming streams. That's actually like a real thing. It's actually really enjoyable to watch somebody else work through something. But yeah, I don't want you to sacrifice your sleep for me though, so please feel free to doze off here and get some shut eye. Maybe the lo-fi music and my droning will lull you to sleep. I love checking off Geneva checklist. Get, commit, dash in crimes against humanity. That's such a good game. Have you guys ever played that game? Crimes Against Humanity? Such a fun game. Or not, sorry, not Crimes Against Humanity. I meant Cards Against Humanity. Crimes Against Humanity is not a game. Cards Against Humanity is a game. Shut up. I haven't had my coffee yet. Expected. -1. Result is going to be equal to solution dot solve part 1. Let's see, we'll do T dot air F. Got doing all the boilerplate stuff. Oops. Whoopsies. Let's see, go test CMD. Alright, now time to read the problem. We're all set up. Time to rock and roll. Time to rock and roll. Steven is turning evil. Oh yes, corrupting. No, I'm not turning evil. Good morning, Born to Shine. Thanks for being a member, man. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. Appreciate all these people who are sticking around and being members. The list that I have up on screen is slowly getting longer, and those numbers are slowly ever creeping up. I think we have 2 people now that have been members for 2 months, which is pretty cool. All right, here we go. Christmas tree farm. Let's lock in, chat. Let's lock in. You're almost out of time, but there can't be much left to decorate. Although there are no stairs, elevators, escalators, tunnels, chutes, teleporters, fire poles, or conduits here that would take you to deeper into the North Pole base, there is a ventilation duct. You jump in. After bumping around for a few minutes, you emerge into a large, well-lit cavern full of Christmas trees. There are a few elves here frantically decorating before the deadline. They think they'll be able to finish most of the work, but the one thing they're worried about is the presents for all of the young elves that live here at the North Pole. It's an ancient tradition to put the presents under the trees, but the elves are worried they won't fit. The presents come in a few standard but very weird shapes. The shapes and the regions into which they need to fit, are all measured in standard units. To be aesthetically pleasing, the presents need to be placed into the regions in a way that follows a standardized two-dimensional unit grid. You also can't stack presents. Oh, that's important. Okay. As always, the elves have a summary of the situation, your puzzle input. For you, first, it contains a list of the presents' shapes. Second, it contains the size of the region under each tree and a list of the number of presents of each shape that need to fit into that region. For example, okay, so the presents are almost like their own little mini grid, right? So this is the shape. The second, it contains the size of the region. So these are like the IDs, I guess, of the presents. And these are the shapes of the presents. The first section lists the standard present shapes. For convenience, each shape starts with its index and a colon. Then the shape is displayed visually where the number sign is part of the shape and the period is not. The second section lists the regions under the tree. Each line starts with the width and length of the region. 12 by 5 means the region is 12 units wide and 5 units long. The rest of the line describes the presents that need to fit into that region by listing the quantity of each shape of the present. So 101032 means you need to fit one present with shape index 0, no presents with shape index 1, one present with shape index 2, no presents with okay, so on and so forth. Presents can be rotated and flipped. Ooh, that's nasty. Why is this nasty? This is nasty because whenever you rotate or flip these, you basically have to transpose the rows and the columns. So you're going to end up with kind of negative. You're going to have to somehow always normalize the rotation back to like a non-negative coordinate system. So that's kind of, yeah. We're probably gonna want to like solve, like, there's the parsing problem, there's the shape problem, being able to rotate shapes, being able to flip shapes, and verify that your rotation and your flip brought you to the right place. Shapes can't overlap. That is the hashtag part from two different presents can't go in the same place on the grid, but they can fit together. That is, the period part in the present shapes diagram does not block another present from occupying that space on the grid. They can fit together. Interesting. What does that mean? They can't overlap, but they can't. The elves need to know how many of the regions can fit the presents listed. For in the above example, there are 6 unique present shapes and 3 regions that need checking. Okay. The first region is a 4x4. In it, you need to determine whether you could fit 2 presents that have shape index 4. After some experimentations, it turns out that you can fit both presents. This region here is one way to do it. Oh, okay, so see, look. So the original shape looked like this, right? What they did was they rotated one. Then they not only rotated, but they also flipped it. Right? That's what they meant by fit together. You can have things that like basically lock into one another. A second. It turns out that these presents can all fit in this region. Here is one way to do it. Again, using different capital letters to represent all the required presents. The third region is the same size as the previous region. The only difference is that this region needs to fit one additional present with shape index 4. Unfortunately, no matter how hard you try, there's no way to fit all of the presents into this region. So it's possible that they don't fit. So in this example, 2 regions can fit all of their listed presents. Consider the regions beneath each tree and the presents the elves would like to fit into each of them. How many of the regions can you fit? How many of the regions can fit all of the presents listed? Okay. There's a few. So this is a big problem for sure. This is a big problem. So it would probably help us to sort of make a punch list and start trying to work through that punch list of the things we need to solve. Let's go to Excalibur. And find some white space here. Okay, first thing we need to do is a parser. Second thing we need is we need a way to rotate, flip, and translate back to 0 coordinates. Let's see, 3 represent grid. And then we need to be able to basically to loop through. GT, thanks for subbing, man. Appreciate it. So we need a way to loop through. Right. Oh, you know what? Another good thing is, we should always attempt to place larger before smaller. So this is important because have you guys ever heard that story about filling the professor in a lecture and he talks about filling up a jar and why you don't put the small sand in first, you put the big rocks in, right? Same kind of premise here where we want to start by placing the larger items first, because if we can't place the larger items, we won't be able to place the smaller ones, right? So if you place the smaller ones first, then we definitely can't place the larger ones, but we'd like to do the larger ones first so we know up front if the larger ones exceed the area of the region. And then 5 is loop over all present variations, check if can fit. Something like that. All right, so what's the parser going to look like? We need our example problem. So this is our example. Copy. What's up, ETN? Good to see you, man. Sorry I missed your entrance. I'm scrolling up. Say, Steven, I can't wait for the day you get to unbox a silver creator award with your name on it. I doubt I ever get a creator award, but that would be my kids would probably think it was cooler than I would. Hey Stefan, good morning, man. How you doing? I do wish we'd get a horizontal stream so chat didn't block the editor, but he said there aren't any viewers for that for some reason. Well, whenever I do a horizontal stream, no one shows up. Everyone says they want a horizontal stream, but then when I do a horizontal stream, no one shows up. It's not even so much about the views. It's just it's fun to chat and interact with people. It's way more fun to have people in chat than it is to sit in a room and talk to yourself. Algebraically, the translations of the present form the dihedral group D4. No biggie. What is that? Dihedral group D4. Dihedral group D4. Some of these words you guys use, I swear. Four rotations and 4 reflections. Oh, yeah, so you rotate clockwise 4 times and you flip each one 4 times, right? Okay, good to know. Biswa, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. Dimitri, Trij, Dimitri. I'm just gonna say Dimitri. Thanks for subbing, man. Steam and write down your problem in a white paper so that you can better understand the problem. That really helps me. Yeah, I think writing is invaluable to helping you think, for sure. Who's using LLMs for AOC? Well, I think in my opinion, I think you can use LLMs if you have at least made a good faith effort to solve the problem yourself, right? But I guarantee most LLMs can probably one shot or maybe just a couple prompts can probably get to a very decent answer on most of these problems if I had to guess. Steven, are you good at drawing? Not really. I've been trying to get better. I do like to draw though. I like to do the directed drawing videos on YouTube. My kid, when he was in kindergarten, we started doing those videos together on YouTube. We'd each sit down and try to follow along with the video. And I've just kept up with that habit over the last couple years. But I'm not good by any means. Good morning, Alexander. I have yet to get started with Advent of Code. That's okay. You don't have to do it. ETN, we're rubber ducks. Yes, chat basically is rubber ducks. But you guys are very valuable rubber ducks. Because half the time my rubber ducks know more than I do. Group D4 just determines how many transformations are possible. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what Google told me is basically. It just means I need to rotate and flip, rotate and flip. It's just useless information I wanted to share. Sometimes it's fun to share useless information. I would tune into a horizontal stream on Twitch. Okay, yeah, we can look at doing that. I think I would have to sign up for. I think I would have to set myself up with Restream again. That's what I used. That's what I used in the past. I used Restream to go to YouTube and Twitch. The thing that's tough for me from just a creator perspective is how to best lay out your screen so that it's interesting for people who want to watch vertically and horizontally, right? Like how do you split that baby so that both experiences are somewhat good? I think that's a little bit of a challenge. And which do you prioritize over the other? I don't know. My thought currently is to monetize horizontal streams, because as many people tell me they want horizontal streams, but then when I do horizontal streams, there's nobody there. I almost wonder, like, well, if that's the case, I might as well just make a members only streams. The real nays, thanks for subscribing, man. I appreciate it. You said bin packing isn't worth it. I think the path you're on is going to be a nice learning experience, but the answer comes from a much simpler consideration. Really? I guess bin packing was what I was gonna do. Huh. So well, now you have me curious. Now I'm like, okay, well, just tell me the simple way, so I don't spend 3 hours writing some convoluted solution. I 3D printed a ducky in the school's makerspace. Oh, that's cool. Do you have it on your desk? You should put a picture in Discord. That would be fun. I would love to see your duck. Do you want a cryptic clue? Yeah, send a cryptic clue over. Bin packing is an insanely advanced, non-solved problem, so I can see how AOC wouldn't want that to be the answer. So what bin is? So bin packing is a very specific thing, huh? Bin packing. Let's see. Bin packing is an optimization problem focused on fitting items of various sizes into the fewest possible containers with fixed capacity. I figured this would be a pretty like realistic problem though, right? You know, you think of like containers, uh, semi trucks, right? Like how do you optimize a pack? We used to talk about this a lot in food because we used to talk about what's the right size for the product, like what's the right size box, how many bags in a box, how many boxes to a pallet, how many pallets could we get on a truck. You would think this would be a pretty well solved problem, but you're saying it's not, huh? Hmm. Now I'm second guessing my understanding of the the problem. Uh, you guys, why do you do this to me? Bin packing, huh? Okay. Give him some time to think about it for a bit. He just started. Yeah, I did just start it. Damn, I can't find a way to formulate my clue without giving the answer. Yeah, I don't want you to give me the answer. I guess I should earn my stripes by going down the rabbit hole and getting blocked, and then having to work myself out of it. So let's just continue on where I was going with it. um. All right. Hacker, what's up, Hacker? How do you get the motivation to do content creation, man? I have done it for 2 to 3 years, then stopped because it requires too much effort when you have a family, kids, job, and whatnot. Well, I guess first, Hacker, what I'll say is I haven't been doing it for 2 or 3 years. So if you did it for 2 or 3 years, you're 2, 3 times longer than I've done it. I've been making content on YouTube for a long time, but not programming and coding content for 2 to 3 years. Um, so I don't know. I can't really say if I'll last 2 to 3 years. Honestly, I guess my approach right now is to just do what's fun and what's enjoyable for me. It's a very selfish pursuit in that way of just make videos that I like making, make or do things on stream that I'm enjoying doing, have conversations that I enjoy having. And whenever I don't feel like doing that or I feel like I want to take a break, I'll just take a break, right? I don't feel any pressure to continue doing it. But I totally agree. It's a lot when you have kids, especially younger kids. I think when your kids are little, it's probably much harder even. So I think my motivation is I enjoy it, right? And so there's that saying like the man who loves the journey will walk farther than the man who loves the destination. And that kind of fits me at the moment, at least, is that I'm enjoying this a lot, and it's giving me a lot of internal satisfaction. So as long as that's the case, it doesn't really take much motivation, you know. Alex, yeah, I'll join and post. I have to paint it because it's white right now. Yeah, I would love to see it, man. If you'd be interested in sharing it. Whenever you join the Discord, just let me know and I'll approve your app. I even brought this puzzle up to another developer friend of mine, and they instantly jumped to the conclusion of using bin packing. But after my own research, I was also suspicious. That's what I'm gonna essentially try. I think I'm not 100% certain I know exactly what bin packing is, but I think that's what I'm gonna end up trying. Is I'm just gonna generate. My idea is I'm gonna parse the shapes. I'm gonna generate all the variants of the shapes, and then I'm gonna see if I can put them into the box or the regions. Sounds good, Alexander. Lurk all you want, man. Creatives, have you heard of Lua language? I have heard of Lua. That's actually what you use to configure NeoVim. I wouldn't say I know Lua. I know Lua enough to configure NeoVim, but I have heard of the language. I guess it's super popular in the Roblox space because Lua is what people use to build mods in Roblox, is what I understand. Well, bin packing isn't a method. It is the problem. Just like the traveling salesman problem, you have to find a solution to the problem. Ah, okay, I see. I just feel bad because I was lucky enough to first go the simple route, which gives the solution. Oh, no worries, man. Yeah, this will be fun. I just like typing. I just like programming like a caveman. I get a lot of enjoyment from just typing text into an editor. So even if that yields me no results, it's okay. There are so many algorithms that work for the bin packing problem, but it isn't solved and is considered an MP hard problem. Oh, interesting. What does MP mean? MP hard. NP hard. NP hard problems are a class of computationally difficult problems, non-deterministic polynomial time, meaning if you could efficiently solve one, you could efficiently solve all NP problems, which is widely believed impossible. Oh, interesting. Very, very interesting. This is all the computer science stuff that I've never had to deal with. Bin packing. I understand it from a Kubernetes perspective because I'm in DevOps, basically packing, placing as much resources as you can to use the least number of nodes, servers, hence less cost. Ah, yeah, that's basically exactly what we're doing then. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. All right, let's parse this bad boy, yeah? So we need to get our input. And so we will do file dot read all lines, file path. And I guess we need to probably split on the new line, right? And then we need to loop over each section. So these lines contain colons, and these lines contain colons, but they also contain an X. So I think that's what I'm going to key off of. Is I'll say if the line contains a colon and does not contain an X, then we know we're parsing one of these guys. Is what I'll do. Some might even say bin packing is strongly NP complete. Huh. Yeah, so much computer science happening today. So let's do sections, and then we'll do strings dot split, and we want to pass in well, hold on. We already have our lines. That's what this gives us. So let's loop over it. So we'll say for line Hold on. Do we want to read it? Do we want to read it one line at a time? Not really. We probably want to actually do read all. Let's do read all text. This might be easier to do it by the text. And then we'll do split input at new line. This. Let's also throw a trim on here. Strings dot trim space. And then let's print those sections. Make sure we're on the right path. Yep. Okay. And then for section, we're going to range over our sections. And we're going to say, okay, we want all the lines in here. So we'll say strings.split, strings.trim space again. That's in our section. This time we'll just split on a single line. That. Now we'll have some. So our headers will be our very first lines, and this will be what we key off of. So let's go ahead and print that. So we should see 0, 1, 4. Oh no, my YouTube auth token failed to refresh. No. So we're only getting 1, 0, so that's not right. Okay. Let me fix my viewer count thing real quick. There we go. Back here. So why, let's see, let's print the line of sections. Length of sections. Oh shoot. Format.println length of sections. Alright, we know we're in trouble when the parsing is already giving me trouble. Yeah, we're only getting one. So are we only getting one section? So we read all the text, we trim it, we split on two new lines. Oh, I wonder, is it because I'm on, what is it, carriage return, what is it, R? I can never remember what a carriage return new line. Carriage return new line separator. /R in /R/in/R/in. There we go. Damn new lines. I wonder how would I make that safe though. Let's see. Regex for new line carriage return optional. Is there a strings.split that takes a regex expression? Let's see. Let's ask Copilot real quick. Watching 2 streams right now while making a game. Nice. Ah. Let's see. In Go, is there a strings.split method that takes regular expressions? Screw it. I'm getting out of bed and getting some coffee. Dude, it's 5 a.m. What are you talking about? Let's see. Must compile and then split. Okay. I can do that. So let's do split regex equals regex dot must compile and paste in this guy. Which would make this oh, actually, we need 2 of these, don't we? Is that gonna work, or is that gonna give us too many? This really shouldn't matter to me. So hold on, let's back this up before I pursue this rabbit hole, because this is just distracting me from the actual problem I'm trying to solve. So before we do that, let's do this, and let's do comment that just says to do make a splitting safe for line feeds and CRLF carriage return line feed. Future problem to worry about. But now we do have all of our sections being printed, which is good. I burnt that Copilot, or whoops, I don't want to call you Copilot. I want to say what the fuck? Jesus, man. There we go. How come I don't have, though? See this? I only have one 4x4 line, and I should have multiple. So why is that happening? Oh yeah, I guess yeah. I guess there's no additional new line below this, so that's why it's happening. And there's no new line in our input. Okay, so that makes sense. All right. Here, just hear me out. I'm going to focus here for a sec. I got way too distracted by that whole situation. All right, so if strings dot contains a colon, and strings dot contains header x, equals false, then we know we have format.println, we got a shape. Otherwise, format.println, we got a region. This is actually a big problem. This is going to take me probably a little while to figure out. So we got a shape, we got a shape, we got a shape. We should have 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why do we have 6? Do we have 6 shapes? Oh yeah, we do. We have 6 shapes. Cool. So now in here we just need to parse our shapes. And so we will do our ID string is going to be equal to strings.trim suffix, trim the header, and we trim the colon off the header, and our ID is going to be equal to stir convert.atoi. We'll pass in our ID string. And then we also need to bring in our shape. So I think the way we're going to do our shape is a shape is going to be a struct that is a list of positions. So we have this grid module that we've used in previous solutions. And we have an accompanying position module that we have. So I think I'm going to use that to start with. So we'll do positions is going to be a slice of that, which means then we can loop over the remaining lines here, and we can say, let's see, for row and line equals range over lines, and we'll take from the first to the end. Hold on, do we want to do it over the lines or do we want to do it over the section? Oh no, that is the section. That is the section. So this is just whatever's remaining, right? So let's print this real quick. Let's see. Lines for section, or for shape. I'm going to pass in the ID. And then we'll say format.println. And we'll do Hey, what's up, Danny? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Bob, a little parsing hack. There are the same number of presents in same size. I'm in the example at input. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know, I think. Yeah, so I just want to essentially get the call. I just want to treat this like a grid is what I want to do, right? So I want to create a position for each character. So I want to be able to say, if we treat this like the row number, or we can just do R, that's fine. And then we'll have another loop in here that's going to be for character, or for column and character, range over the line. And we'll say if character does not equal a number sign, we can continue. Otherwise, we will do positions is going to be equal to position from, and we'll pass in the row and pass in the column. We'll need a list of positions equals a slice of position like that. And I think we'll need a list of shapes, won't we? So let's do shapes is going to be a slice of shape like that. To get all our positions for a section. And this is going to be positions dot append position. And then we'll continue. Oh, we should also have an ID property on our shape, shouldn't we? This would be ID, which would be an int. Which then means once we have all our positions, at the end of this, we can say shape equals shape. And we can do ID equals ID and position equals positions. And then we can say shapes append shape, I think is what we want to do there. Oh, and then we should print this, shouldn't we? Format print line shapes. So let's see what comes out of this. So this is interesting because this is kind of hard to parse for me. So I think what would be helpful is if we had the ability to print a shape so that we could basically parse it from and then turn it back, right? That's basically what we're doing. Shakura, thank you for subscribing, man. I appreciate it. Why did you ban Stefan? I didn't ban Stefan. The lurk is a new command that we added, so you can type !lurk and it'll print that message back to you. It's just a way to kind of acknowledge like you're here, but you're doing your own thing, or you're working on your own thing, and you're not really engaged in the chat, you know? Because I'm kind of a lurker, and the reason that came up is because I'm kind of a lurker in the streams that I hang out in. So I want people to know that I'm totally cool with that. It's even maybe encouraged. The vibes I've always wanted to create for my stream is almost like a coffee shop vibe, where it's like you show up, I'm at the coffee shop, I'm working, you sit down next to me or across the table from me, and you open up your laptop and you work on your thing and I work on my thing, and every so often maybe we have a conversation or exchange some ideas about something, but it's just kind of a shared space to chill and vibe and do programming and coding stuff together. So the lurk command, I think, is very fitting in that way. Okay, I'm going to bring this down here, and I'm going to do something like this, where I say, actually, I'm going to do this. I'm not gonna speed run this, so hold on to your hats. We're gonna do this in the most, try to do this in a methodical way. So this may take me a couple streams to get this problem solved, because it's kind of a big problem. Let's see, package, shape, provides the model, and methods for representing and manipulating shapes. And we're going to do import testing, and we're going to say func test from t is equal to a pointer of testing type t, and we're going to have some expected stuff in there. Let's see, main.go. We're going to go down here. We're going to pull all of this. Oh, I already did it. It's over here now. So then we're going to have a from function that takes in, I guess it takes in a line. I guess it takes in lines, which is a slice of strings, and it returns to us what is a shape. So this will have an interface that we export, type shape interface like this, and what else? So basically what we want to do, we want to return a shape. And so we want to basically move all this parsing logic from here and we want to bring it into the shapes package like that. And this is no longer going to be needed. This is no longer going to be needed either. This is no longer going to be that. Let's see, we header, colon can become, I'm just going to do that. Let's see, header is equal to the first line element like that. So we can actually probably just inline this too. I can't read your username, man, but thank you very much for subscribing, man or woman. Brave, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. It's very kind. Line 0, delete this. And that means back here, we can get rid of all of this stuff. And we can just say shape. Actually, we can just do shapes dot append, and then we'll say shape dot from section. Or sorry, lines, not section. Lines. And this is going to be shapes dot shape like this. We should still, everything should still be hunky-dory. Yep. Now what I wanted to do though was I wanted to be able to declare what is essentially, I think if you declare, I can never remember, but I'm pretty sure if you declare a method called string on your type, you can do return shape plus s.id. Oh, this isn't a string. That means we have to do format dot sprint f, and we have to say shape %d. I think if I do that, we should be able to control how it gets logged, I think. Yes. So then my idea was that we could basically have the ability to translate what we parsed in back to the grid as it's represented in the input, right? So that would make it a little bit easier to debug and look at things. So we need the ability to essentially recreate the shape, or print the shape, essentially, is what we need to be able to do. And how would we do that? So inside the shape, all we have right now is the positions and the IDs. We don't actually have like the original we don't have the rows and the columns, so we have to detect that when we're printing, right? See you, Suhas. Have a good day, man. Does carving a chicken while listening count as lurking? It sounds like being uber productive is what it sounds like to me. Sounds like you're literally killing 2 birds with 1 stone, or maybe literally killing 1 bird with with 1 stone. Okay, so we can do. Let's do this. We'll do. Let's do something like this. So what we'll do is we'll say if the length of s dot positions equals 0, we will do return empty shape. Otherwise, we will figure out what our max row is, and we will figure out what our max column is. And we can do that. We can do that with a loop. So we can say, let's start these both at 0. Let's start those both at 0. We'll loop over each position. And we'll say, okay, great. If p.r is greater than max row, and this actually should be p.row, is greater than max row, then we will set max row equal to p.row. Do the same thing here. This will be column, max column. So now we basically have the size of our grid, which means we should be able to build a string. So we'll say shape, and we'll call it string. We'll type it as a string builder, and we'll say for Chamberlain Pie, Morio. Thank you both for subscribing. Moreo, thank you both for subscribing. I appreciate it. So now we'll do for range over max row, and for range over max column, and we'll have something that's like var row shape, or row, yeah, that's what we can do, row string builder here, return shape dot string like this. So what we need to do is we need to makes me wonder if it wouldn't make more sense instead of making this a list of positions. I wonder if we made it a would making it a map of positions be helpful? Because we actually only have the positions of these characters. We don't have the positions of the periods. So that's kind of interesting. It's interesting to think about this. So is our shape a grid or is our shape a collection of positions? Yeah, that's kind of an interesting. Should we represent the shapes as grids or should we represent it as here's what we should probably do. What we should probably do is before we do this, before we do this, let's do temp grid equals a slice of slices of strings, and this will be a max row plus 1. We'll add a little bit of padding, and then we'll loop over this and we'll say, okay, great, for each I, and then oops, grid, then we'll say for C, there's R for C in range over grid at R, and we'll assign this to make max column plus 1 as well for a little bit of padding, and then we'll say grid R and grid C, and we'll just assign that to be an empty space to start with. Oh, this should be temp. This should be temp grid. Nah, fuck it. We'll just do this. And then we'll rename this to temp grid. This should be R. Like that. Because now we have a temp grid that we can then fill, right? So then we can say for P equals range over S dot positions. And we can fill this, so we can say wherever the grid is for P dot row and P dot column, this shouldn't be grid, this should be again temp grid. Right? We can assign it the number sign. And then, now that we have our grid worked out, no, not enough arguments in call to shape.string. What? Why are you complaining? I don't know why this is complaining. Now we should be able to do var shape equals strings dot builder, And then we'll do 4. Shadman, thank you for subscribing, man. I appreciate 4 row range over the temp grid. And then we'll do 4C range over the R row column row. Can't say, but it sounds more efficient. Have you ever seen in a game show or YouTube video people have to fit through some cut or shape in a panel coming towards them, otherwise they're pushed in a pool or something like that? I think that, yeah, I think I've probably seen something that approximates that. People have to fit through some cut out shape in a panel coming towards them. Yeah, I think I've probably seen something like that for sure. Do strings dot builder. We'll do row string dot right is going to be temp grid. Whoops. Temp grid. Stop doing that, man. I'm trying to cast it. Oh, it's trying to help me because I had the wrong method. So we'll do row number and column. That. And then what this means no, that's not what I want. I want the actual row. And I want the actual I want the actual individual string. Yeah. Then once we have the row string, we can shape dot right string, and we can do row string dot string, and then we can add in our own new line like that. Okay, now I think, let's see, let's try to print this again. What do we get? We get things, but it looks like they're shifted. So that's no bueno. Let's come back here and see if we can make this a little bit more legible. So we'll do format.println. Oops. Do 4 shape range over shapes. See what this looks like. There we go. Although I think there might be, I think there's a trailing new line in between there, which is maybe not what we want. But it does the only reason I did that, I know it's kind of silly, but the main reason I did that is so that I could basically print it and see that we correctly parse these things. So if we look at our input here, we should have one like that. Just have one like that, one like this. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I think I got that right. So now we have our shapes. Great. Step 1, Done. Step 1 of 50,000, done. Okay, so small steps climb mountains. Don't forget that. So let's see, parse shapes. Excuse me. Step 2, parse regions. Check. That's a really bad arrow, isn't it? Check. Okay, I'm not pirate software, okay? Drawing on a screen's hard. Alright, so we've got, so now we need to parse the region. So we parse our shapes, now we need to parse our region. Let's do this, get rid of this. Nothing to do with today's problem, of course. I'm guessing it has something to do with today's problem, but I'm not sure I know what to do with that information. Hey, good morning, Inspire. Congrats on 8K. Thank you, man. Yeah. I don't know what. It's weird. That number keeps going up, and I keep wondering what is happening. Kira, thanks for subbing. Happy holidays to you as well, Inspire. Good to see you, man. What if the person is 7 feet tall or obese? Would they ever fit? No, they would not fit. But I don't know what that means. I don't know how to recreate that thing that you're discussing. No, motivation on fire. On fire 2T. I don't know what your username says. I'm just gonna call you Motivation. Hello, Motivation. Good to see you. Artwork Studios coming back to bid you good luck. Thanks, man. I think it's going okay. I'm going slow, but I think the slower and more methodical I approach advent of code problems, it seems like the better I do. It's when I try to solve everything in one go, all hell breaks loose. As it should, man. Can't wait to see 100K in 26. Dude, if I got to 100K in 26, the only reason I'd ever want to get to 100K is so that I could take a silver plaque and show it to my kids. My kids would think that was nuts. Because like all the time, both my boys really love YouTube, and they have their favorite YouTubers, you know. So, and they know that I make YouTube videos, and every day they'll tell me, they'll be like, "Man, Dad, you'd have so many more subscribers if you played video games instead of doing the coding stuff." And I'm like, well, thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys trying to be my channel managers. But I think they would get more of a kick out of that than I would. So if you guys could help me impress my sons, I would really appreciate it. If you could like and subscribe so I can impress my kids, that would be great. So I can be a cool dad, that would be awesome. Okay, now we need to parse the region. Isn't that what I said we were going to do next? Parse the region. So how do we do that? And how do we want to represent that? My dad is super cool YouTuber who got 100K with coding content. Who wouldn't like that flex? Yeah. Or the you know how like in the old school days it was like my dad can beat up your dad, and now the flex with all the kids is my dad has more subs than your dad. Oh yeah? Well, my dad has more subs than your dad does. Oh yeah? Well, my dad has 3 shorts with 10 million views. Well, my dad doesn't vibe code everything. My dad doesn't even use IntelliSense or an LSP. Oh, goodness. That's pretty funny. Okay, so for each line that contains a colon, right? So basically at this point right now where we're at, we know that we have a region, and a region is made up of just these lines, right? So we just need to detect if it has a colon. If it does have a colon, then we need to parse out this stuff, right here. So we'll do go. I don't know why that's there. So how do we want to represent this? I mean, I think ideally we'd have a struct the same way, right? So there's actually two things represented here. There's the grid, which is given by the x, and then there's the instructions or the requirements of that particular region. I think for now, before trying to pick how to represent that, I think for now let's just call this regions, and we're just gonna make this a slice of strings, and we will say yeah, let's just do this. We have our shapes, we have our regions, and we're gonna say if strings dot contains line, and if you contain a colon, then we are going to add you to our regions. That. And real quick, let's just print this out. This is going to be regions. We should have three regions. I don't know exactly how I'm going to use this information yet, so I'm not going to put it in a data structure quite yet. All right, so we have our regions and we have our shapes. Now what we need to do with our shapes, I think this is the next tricky parts of the solution. We have to actually be able to manipulate. We need to be able to rotate, flip, and then translate those coordinates back to a zero grid, or basically translate back to non-negative coordinate, right? So this one is like sort of kind of done, kind of a question mark there. Maltham, thanks for subscribing, appreciate it. Arrow, good to see you, hello. Hope you're doing well this morning. We're making good progress here on day 12, part 1. This is kind of a big problem, so this may take this may be another multi-stream day. So we want to, let's just focus on rotation, yeah? So let's focus on rotation. So a shape, I think a shape should be able to rotate itself, right? So let's centralize this in this package. So a shape should be able to rotate itself. The question is, when a shape rotates itself, does it mutate itself or does it return a copy of itself? I think it's just going to return a copy of itself rotated. That's how I'm gonna implement this. So I'm gonna have a rotate method that returns a shape. That's what I'm gonna have. And then I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna define a func that has a receiver type of shape. And this is gonna be called rotate, and it is gonna return a shape interface. Which means essentially what we'll do is we will return a shape with an ID of s.id, but we're going to have a new set of positions. So we're going to say this is called rotated positions, which is going to be a slice of this. And then we're going to do the rotation. So the rotation is probably a little harder than the flip. Actually, it's probably about equally as hard. Carving a second chicken right now. Just literally killing 2 birds with the 1 stone. So what are you carving these chickens for? Hello, Arrow. Good to see you. Sorry if you didn't catch me saying hello. I said hello to you, but hope you're doing well. So when we rotate, we basically need to make every column negative or the opposite of the row. I think. So let me try this. This is what I have in mind. So basically loop over each position. So we say p range over s dot p, and we do rotated positions dot append rotated position, and rotated is going to be equal position dot from, and it's going to be the same row. The row is going to be the same. Yeah, so it's going to be let's see. It's going to be p dot column. So that's the current positions column now becomes the rotated positions row, and then the column of the new position becomes the old position's negative row. Yeah. Oh, or another way we could do this is we could say, sorry, we could do p dot row negative like this. So I think let's try this out. Let's just go to main.go and let's get one of our shapes 0 dot rotate. So let's format dot print line shape equals at 0, and then let's rotate it. We'll print it again. See what happens. See, nothing happened. Did I not return? No, I returned it. That should work, right? Row, let's see. Row gets the old positions column. Oh, I'm not I'm an idiot because I'm not mutating the. This is the rotate. This is rotated shape, right? This is a new shape. So rotated shape. That was a design decision I made like literally 2 minutes ago, and I forgot I made it. Index out of range. Yes, because it's negative. Ah! This is the normalization thing. So because we're making it negative, we need to translate it back to a coordinate that isn't a negative coordinate. Well, son of a gun. It's not as easy as I thought. So how do we do that? Good morning, Arvin. How are you doing? Yeah, make Tetris, basically. Yeah, we're making Tetris. Barbecue the drumsticks and wings, stir fry the breast tenders, make chicken stock with the carcass, make chicken butter with the skin. Dang, dude, that sounds delicious. You sound like quite the cook, you know? Quite the professional. So how do I normalize the shape back to non-negative? Do I need to know? Well, I guess what I want to do is I just want to basically realign the shape as if it's in a 0-0 relation, right? So how would I have this shape that I rotated? How would I normalize it back to based on a 0-0 coordinate system? Top left 0-0. And I'll have to do the same thing for flip. Flip will have to have the same type of thing. I'll definitely have to figure out MW Dolly. Hello, MW. How are you doing this morning? Inspire. Somehow I don't regret leaving AOC AST day 6. Day 6 part 2 was really, really hard. That was hard. I think that might have been harder than anything else. Honestly. I mean, day 11, I don't know. Day 11 was pretty tough. Day 10 was tough. There were some hard problems, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Advent of code is definitely a commitment. It's a commitment of time and energy. I haven't done much programming outside of solving Advent of code problems for most of the month of December. I know some people are able to solve this stuff really quick, and I'm just not. It takes me multiple hours typically. And that just kind of is what it is. So what do I want to call this function? Translate? Maybe? Normalize? Translate? I'm going to call it translate. But translate kind of means something different, doesn't it? Let's do normalize. And this will take a shape. Yeah, this will take a shape. And this will return a shape. Like that. Now we'll just return shape with ID set to s.id. Then we have to do some stuff in here. So we'll have to do something similar to the let's see, so we're going to do min row is going to be equal to, I guess, S Habibi, thanks for subbing, man. I appreciate it. The previous days, it was actually tough, but was expecting it quite. The previous days were very standard. I struggled. I mean, I'll be honest. I've struggled with Advent of Code all year. I mean, the very first day was a struggle for me. My name is Mahmood? Well, Mahmood, welcome to the stream. Hope you're here. ETN Matrix product? I don't think I know what that means. I think what we have to do is we have to figure out what the minimum, the actual minimum is. So have you been doing it for the previous years? I did it in 2023 and 2024. So I've only done it, this is only my third year doing it. Let's see, we're gonna do, we'll add a little bit of a guard clause. I don't know why this would ever be the case, but we'll say if length of positions is equal to 0, we're just gonna return s.id and s.positions. This. Otherwise, we need to get the min row, which we'll just assume starts with s dot positions at 0, I guess, and the min column, which is going to be dot row dot column. And then we'll loop over, so we'll say for position range over s dot positions like this, and we'll say if p dot row is less than the current minimum row, minimum row, then we're going to set min row to p dot row. So we're basically going to do the same thing we were doing earlier when we were building the grid. So we'll say p dot column is less than min column. We'll set min column equal to p dot column. Also, I do realize it's 6:10, so it's time for us to take a little break and make some coffee here in a minute. Let's see if we can get this normalized function implemented, and then we'll make some coffee. So let's make our new normalized positions. It's a new slice of this, and then we're going to say for index and position range over s dot positions, and we essentially are going to append normalized. We are going to append a new position from a normalized row and a normalized column, and we're going to normalize this by using the min and the mins that we calculated against the current values, the current position values. So this will be p dot row minus the minimum row, p dot column minus the minimum column, and then this will be the normalized row and the normalized column, I think. And then we normalized positions dot append. You could probably make this a little bit more succinct. Let's do NPs R and C and P. There we go. A little bit more succinct. Why do we need the I? Do we need the I? I don't think we need the index. And then we'll pass those here. Positions, EPS. And then after we do rotate, what we'll do is we'll have rotated shape equals this. Rotated shape equals that. And then we'll do return normalize the rotated shape. I don't think we actually need to expose normalize outside of this context. So I don't think there's any reason to make it a public member. So did that work? Let's see. So we rotated. So we're rotating clockwise. That should be the other thing. I should update this so that rotate clockwise. That's the other thing we should do. So that means now when we called rotate once, and we should end up. I know this looks funny because of the way the width of the characters, the width and the height of the characters, but you can see now. I've taken that whole thing and tilted it, right? Yeah, 3 on top, 3 on top, 3 in the, yep, spanning the middle, and then we have 1 on the right side. So if we did this multiple times, right, we could go 90, we could go all the way across. We could do rotate, you know what I mean? Like we could even actually, our rotate method could even specify how many times we rotated if we wanted to, right? So we could say rotate it once, rotate it twice, rotate it 3, right? Rotate it 4 or 5. I mean, essentially every multiple of 4 is a full complete rotation. But if we wanted to, we could. But I think for now we'll just leave it at like that. And so what that means now is we need to flip. We need to implement a flip, because they said that in the problem, they said that you can both flip and rotate. So we have our rotate down. Actually, we have 2 of these marked off. So I'm going to call this geometry. So we need to be able to rotate. We need to be able to flip, and then we need to be able to, I'm just going to call this last one normalize, but basically, well, actually, I'm just going to do this, translate back to non-negative coordinates. So we've done rotate, and we've done this one. So now we need to implement flipping it, which will be fun. Personally, I discovered, William, this is Go. We're doing this in Go. Personally, I discovered AOC beginning of 2024 through a colleague. Took me almost all year to get 47 stars on my own. I did 2024 in December, 46 stars on my own. In 2025, I started other years. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'd never gotten all stars. Not once. What I typically do, and I don't know if this is good or bad, but what I typically do is I basically time box it, and I say I've got 24 days to get as many stars, and after those 24 days, I move on. Because there's a lot of things I'd like to build and do outside of just solving advent of code problems. So, and I only have so many hours in the day I can dedicate to like side projects outside of work. And when I do advent of code basically sucks up all that allotted time in my day. So yeah, that's why I typically time box myself to just the 24 days. Otherwise, I probably could spend, like you said, I could probably spend many months trying to get a solution to all of them. I think this is a good stopping place to go make some coffee. So give me a second. I'm going to set my coffee station. I get it. If you don't want to watch me make coffee, that's totally fine. Thank you for hanging out with me. But I'm not going to end the stream. I'm just going to make coffee and then come back and then we'll keep working on this. I don't have to work today. I'm off all week for the holidays. So I might stream. I normally stream till 7, but I might stream. I don't know. I might go a little later than that. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. See how far we get in this problem. This will definitely probably take me 2 sessions just based on the scope of work. And then we haven't even gotten to the hard bits. We're still doing the kind of getting set up to actually solve the actual problem. We're kind of laying the foundation. And it sounds like some of this foundation may not even be needed based on what Eddie N has told me. Flip, rotate, and flip and rotate. Yeah, we have to do this. We have to do that 4 times, right? We have to. Do we flip? Do we rotate first or do we flip? I thought that thing you told me was to rotate first, right? No, we do. Yeah. What was that term? What did you call it? Dehedral. D4 dehedral. D4 dehydral group D4. That's what it is. So it's 4 rotations and 4 reflections. So we reflect, then we rotate. So we basically flip, then rotate, flip, then rotate, flip, then rotate. Yeah. Yeah, I think what I'm going to end up doing is I think I'm just going to have a method. I think I'm just going to have a method that's called. I may not even need this method to be public exposed, but I think what I'm going to have at the end of the day is I'm going to have something that's like shape.generate all variants. Right, like this, that returns a slice of shapes. I think that's what I might end up doing. During eating lunch, our national currency lost 0.8% of its value. From morning up to lunch, it lost 0.4%. Now today, we lost 1.2% of our national currency value. That's crazy. I feel bad for you, man. That would, if I had to eat lunch and worry about my dollars devaluing, I mean, my dollars are always devaluing. They're just not evaluating at the same rate that your currency is. But if it was, that would be very stressful. I think if I was in that situation, I'd be trying to store my money in something not that currency. I don't know how easy that is to do, but I think if I was in that situation, I'd be trying to look at how I could take my currency, or I would basically take everything I made and try to figure out how I could put it into something that holds its value better. I'm guessing that's probably pretty complicated to do, but yeah, that would. Bob Knoll, that was some abstract algebra group theory jazz to distract you. Yeah, it was kind of distracting. Gold, oil, Bitcoin. I think it was me. I'd probably do gold or Bitcoin. I think probably. I think gold. I'm so risk adverse. I would probably pick gold over Bitcoin. But if you're smart, you'd probably pick Bitcoin and be a multi-millionaire in a few years. I don't know. Even if my dollar devalued that quickly, I would probably even just buy like actual physical objects, like tangible things, right? That have a use to them. But yeah. All right, I'm gonna go get some coffee. I gotta use the restroom first, and then we're gonna make some coffee. So I'm gonna put up my split pane up. Which is all to say, Arvin, I'm really sorry, man. That really sucks. And I wish there was something I could help with that, but I'm just a small time dad in Kansas, drinking coffee and writing code. And so all I can do is commiserate with you. And I know that doesn't mean a whole ton, but I am sorry to hear it. Yeah, I'll be right back. I was muted, sorry. The name of my font is Cascadia Cove. It's a nerd font. I just put the link there in the chat so you can go see a preview of it. But good to see you, Drewsy. That's 12 variants per shape, I think. Yeah, let's see. Rotate, flip. Wouldn't it be 8? I actually don't know. We'll see, though. We'll count them. All right, let's go get some coffee. Yeah, 3, 2, 1. To the coffee station.
All right, here we go. I need to change that card. We're not day 22. We are day 23. Oh, excuse me. To the coffee station. Pull up the stream here. Man, it's already 6:30. I'm like the slowest developer on earth. But I feel so much better when I move methodically and I move thoughtfully. I feel so much better about what I'm doing. I feel like I know. I feel like I understand where I'm going and what I'm doing. When I try to move too fast, it makes me feel flustered. Okay. Let's get the coffee or the water heating up here. Where are we traveling today in the world for our coffee? Guatemala, yes. Chamomile, raw sugar, apple, and white flour. Those are the tasting notes. Welcome to the stream if you're new here. If you're not new here, welcome back again. This is the part of the stream where we acquire our caffeine fix. The link to this coffee is in the description down below too, if you're curious. I'm not affiliated with the company. They don't sponsor me. They are just a cool coffee company that's located in Northwest Arkansas, which is pretty close to where I am in Kansas. I'm guessing the vast majority of people in my stream don't actually live in the United States. It's just so early in the morning. Let's see, you can flip vertically and horizontally. Ah, yes, okay. So that's how you got the 12. Advent of Code coffees. Nice. Yeah, this is actually really cool. This is a really cool Advent calendar. If you guys want to join in next year when we do this, it's from a company called Onyx. You have to order it by like November, like the middle of November. But if you order it by then, they ship you this really cool. It's got really cool packaging, really cool design. But you get a different specialty coffee every day of Advent. It's pretty baller. FE911. Oh, you're in Texas? Very cool. Yeah, I've been to Texas. What part of Texas? I've been into Fort Worth, Austin, and Dallas. I guess Dallas and Fort Worth are sort of becoming like one city kind of nowadays. Huh? Now people refer to it as like the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro. I've never been to West Texas. I've never been out to like the kind of the real rural areas of Texas. All right, now we let that sit. North Texas, nice. Did you play high school football growing up? FE 911s. I feel like you guys have to. I feel like if you're born in Texas or you live in Texas, you have to play football, which I personally kind of like as a policy, but I don't think a lot of people would like it. Nah, soccer, nice. So did you ever feel pressure to play football? I feel like if you grew up in Texas, there's like pressure to do it. I'm from Baguette land. Does that mean you're French? Is that what that means when you say I'm from Baguette land? Well, I love baguettes, but yeah, I've never been to France. Now we wait. This is the part of the stream where we wait on the coffee to brew. Because if I go back to my desk, I will forget about the coffee. I got a gold in soccer. Nice, dude. I'm the best player in when it comes to basketball. Very cool. Basketball, soccer, great sports. My youngest son doesn't really play any sports. My oldest son plays basketball, football, and I think maybe he'll end up playing baseball. He hasn't played baseball the last couple of years. But my youngest son, I think might be a little bit more athletic than my oldest son, but he doesn't really show an interest in sports, which is kind of interesting. The more athletic one is less interested. I will give me some dinner. Well, that sounds like a great plan. Dinner sounds wonderful. I'm going to get me some breakfast after the stream. Let me give another 30 seconds, then we're going to let it pour. I should do more sports. Haven't done it in a while. Yeah, the only sport I really have interest in doing right now as an adult is jiu-jitsu. I'd really like to do jiu-jitsu. My dad and their friends play a lot of tennis. I'm so bad my team lost because of me. Oof, that's the worst, man. When you're responsible for a loss, it feels so bad. Hello, Mr. Steven. Merry Christmas. I know it's not today, but won't be available here, so happy Christmas, everybody. Well, that's very nice of you, Gunn, to stop in and wish us Merry Christmas. Very kind of you. Yes, Merry Christmas to you as well, too. I hope everybody here who celebrates, I know some people don't celebrate Christmas, but anybody who does celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful one. I'll probably be here Christmas morning. I think my plan is on Christmas morning, we're gonna build a view component that lets you render a Christmas tree. I think that's what I'm gonna try to build Christmas morning on stream. Basically, I'll basically stream until my kids wake up, and then as soon as my kids wake up, I'll end the stream and get off. So it might be a pretty short stream, you know. All right, this is our Guatemalan coffee. And now it's time to go back to the office. I know you guys appreciate my transitions. All right, here we go. Back into the office.
Here we go. And we're back. If you stream C# on Christmas morning, then I'll join. No, we're gonna build a Vue. We're gonna stream TypeScript. I think I'm gonna build it in Vue. Try to build a Christmas, like a component where you can specify like the height of your tree, and then it'll render you a Christmas tree. Maybe it'll put like ornaments on your tree or something. Let's see. I've been to New York City in 2011. Nice, very cool. Yeah, I would like to go to France at some point. Steven, have you done any street fighting? No, I've not done any street fighting. The only kind of street fighting worth doing is none. Fighting in the real world is just too unpredictable. You know, like getting into a fight with somebody can end very poorly for you and for them, right? Not only could you get hurt and die, but you could hurt them and they could die, and then you're liable for their death. So fighting, I mean, 9 times out of 10 in the real world, if you find yourself in a confrontation, the best response is to try to de-escalate and try to extract yourself from the situation. I mean, obviously there are times where you might have to just, you know, outright defend yourself, but yeah, it's just not worth it. I don't understand why people in martial arts say don't punch with your body. I find it very effective when I use my entire body to distribute the force into my hand. Yeah, I would think you get the force comes from your lower half, so I would figure you need to kind of, you want it when you throw a punch, you need to get your hips involved. Yes, we do appreciate your transition. Thank you. Thank you. Gun heist TypeScript component within user form Excel. Fuck yeah, I'll join. No, we're not gonna build a TypeScript view component in Excel. It's like unofficial tournaments, not actual fighting for death. Oh, you mean like people that are doing like MMA, but like backyard brawling? No, I've never done anything like that. I've never done anything like that. That doesn't sound like fun. It sounds kind of sketch. Hey, thanks, Gun, for becoming a member, man. I appreciate you. You know what that means. We have to stop what we're doing, and we have to go update the members list. I appreciate you, man. That's very kind of you. Got a new member. So let's go to membership monitor. Thank you, man. That's very kind of you. Merry Christmas to you as well. Let's see. We got to go to YouTube, members, list, details. This guy, we have to go to the YouTube data API. This is so dumb. This is so dumb that every time someone becomes a member, I have to go through this manual process. Someone get in contact with YouTube. We now have 14 human beings on planet Earth that are members of the Stephen Freeborn YouTube channel. And I appreciate it. All right, Gun, your name should start scrolling across there. You should see it show up. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it. All right. Back to what we were doing. We are going to try to flip our shape. So let's go down here to, where were we? We were, let's do flip. Flip. Shape. We are going to do funk. S shape. We're going to flip it. And we're going to do return a shape. It's basically going to be the same thing we're doing here, only the translation is going to be different. So we're going to do flips, positions, and this is going to be our flipped shape. And then inside here, we're basically going to do the same thing we did up here, only let's see, flipped positions equals flipped position. Equals position dot from, and this is going to be, we're basically going to do the same thing we did up above, but we're going to use different negatives. So we're going to do same row, right? Same row, but the column gets negative. Well, I guess this is where, to your point, this is actually doing we're flipping across the column, right? So this is not actually just a flip. Let's see. So let's go down here, and we'll do, instead of flip, let's do, or instead of rotate, let's do flip. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. So this is flipping, yeah, this is a flipping vertically, is what we're doing. So let's rename this to flip vertically. Okay, cool. So we have a way to flip it, and we have a way to rotate it. Flip vertically equals invert top row with bottom row, since it's only 3 rows wide and high. Well, I guess I was thinking vertically means we're flipping along this axis, is what I meant, I guess. Is that not the right terminology? That, or I guess that's what I was referring to as flip vertically. That's what I was meaning. I could, but like I appreciate you double checking me because I don't always use the right words. For sure. Um, cool. So that's actually a big part of the lift, I think. If we're confident in the way we can flip and rotate as well as do all of that, we should be able now. Let's add a new step here. So this will be 3, 4, 5, 6. This is actually going to be generate shape variants. Oops, I don't want to move it. I want to move the canvas. Generate the shape variants. So you said we should have 12, right? So how do I... So let's add this interface. So let's say generate all variants. You know what's interesting though is, do we need to have a flip horizontal? I don't know if we need to have a flip horizontal. If we're always rotating clockwise and we're always flipping vertically and we rotate before we flip, or we flip before we rotate, do we kind of always do we always hit all the combinations anyways? But in principle, since it's 3 by 3, flipping either way is switching bottom with top or right. Oh, yes, you're 100% right. Yeah, in the case of a square, it's kind of mute, isn't it? So what are the sizes of these? Oh, these are 3 by 3 too. Interesting. So they're all squares. Okay. So I can actually just call it flip then. Yeah, so actually it's not really a shape. This is a square. This is kind of interesting. It's not really um interesting. I'm gonna leave it abstracted for now. That's fine. But honestly, I could actually turn this. This is actually a square. This is not a shape. We're only ever dealing with squares or boxes or something. So, okay. That's good to know. I should have looked at the input, I guess, before I started diving into this. So let's add a new one called func s shape, and we'll call this generate all, or I'm just going to call it generate variants. And we'll just start with returning shapes. That. Why is this complaining? Oh. Yay, my name is floating underneath Steven. Very nice. I know it doesn't mean a whole lot, but I mean, it means something to me that you guys would be willing to sign up and be members. Like when people send super chats or people want to become a member, even, I mean, I know it's only a 99-cent membership, but like the fact that someone would be willing to like spend some of their hard-earned money to support my channel is really fucking cool. So I just wanted to make sure that people that do that kind of are displayed front and center. So thank you again, man. Appreciate you. There's probably some redundancy, like flipping vertically, then rotating twice clockwise might be the same thing as flipping horizontally. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Is, are we going to end up with like duplicate logic, duplicated variants? Yeah. But I think we'll at the very least we'll cover all possibilities. I think 99 in India is only 49 rupees, which is very less than 99 cents. Oh, interesting. Didn't know that. I just wanted it to be a low barrier of entry. I wanted people to be able to be a member for a very small fee if they wanted to become a member, you know. But there's never any I don't have any expectation of you guys doing that kind of stuff. I'm currently my goal is not to make YouTube a full-time, supporting me and my two kids and wife, right? My plan is to work a job, earn a salary, and save for retirement. And what I make from YouTube, I'll just stick into my retirement account, But what I make from AdSense, I'll just stick in my Roth IRA or something. It means if you have $1, you can get 2 subscriptions. Nice. That is very cool. Maybe implement some equals operator to reduce the number of variants. Oh, that's a good idea. Do a check. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe YouTube did it because Indian average income is very low than American average income. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think that's cool when companies can do that, like adjust prices based on the cost of living and like cost of living and average salary, right? Like I think that's cool when companies adjust their pricing accordingly. I know that's a very complicated and hard thing to do though, you know. So that's pretty cool when companies take the time to implement that. So how are we going to generate all the shapes, right? What I think we should do is I think we should take Etienne's recommendation, and I think we should have a map that's called scene, which equals an empty map of what? How do we build? We need some sort of like unique key so that we can know that we've seen this shape before. Kind of like what Etienne was talking about, where if we do current, let's see, current equals S, right? And then let's say we do for range over, let's say we're going to do this we're going to do this transformation 4 times. And let's see, number of transformations. Always good to give numbers names, you know? Number of transformations, and we could do something like this. We could say shapes dot append current. Then we could do flipped equals s dot flip vertically. Then we can do shapes dot append flipped, and then we can do current equals s dot, or no, flipped dot rotate clockwise. Cannot use flipped as shape value and argument to append, need type assertion. What? Cannot use. Oh, because this is Obsessed Owl. Thank you for subscribing. Siddharth Thank you for subbing, man. I appreciate it. And I guess this I need to type like var current shape. And then I need to set current equal to S. Now what I want to do is I want to keep to kind of, I think if I don't implement that, I think we're going to find ourselves with duplicative results, right? So if we do main.go and we say variance equals shape dot generate variance, and we say for the range over variance, and we say print line variance. Let's also print the number. See you, Artie. See you, Artwork Studios. Have a good day, man. So it looks like we have 8. Let's see, there's a duplicate. Duplicate, 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 duplicate. And so what we need to do is we basically want to remove the duplicates. Wouldn't this be as easy as just doing, since we're using Go and things are compared based on equality, right? So wouldn't it be as simple as doing something like shape.go? We come in here, we put that back, and we say this is where we reassign. Yeah, so I guess here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking instead of doing the append, we could just say scene is current equal to true. Would that work? Like that? I don't know if this will work. I'm basically trying to rely on the fact that equality is checked based on value and not reference, right? So we would then do flipped equals true. And then we would do, isn't there like a maps dot key? There we go. And we can do maps dot keys. Cannot use maps dot keys as shapes value in returns. Oh, because it's an iterator, so we have to say shapes equals a slice of shape. And then we have to say, is it possible to just get everything back from an iterable? Let's see. Let's ask Google. let's see, convert iterable in Go to slice. There's got to be some way to do that, right? Slices.collect. The most direct way. Okay, so I can do this. Slices.collect. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if this works. Hash of unhashable type. I've never seen that error before, so let's explore what this means if you can't hash something, right? And how do you fix that in Go? How do you allow it to hash itself? The error of hash of unhashable type occurs in programming when, I should probably say this is in Go. Maps, functions, convert the slice to an array, and that's not what I want. Identify the uncomparable field. If a field is a fixed size collection, change it from a slice to an array. Oh, because because positions is a yeah, because my struct contains a slice. Is basically what it's saying. So then how would we fix that? There's a couple different things that we could do. I think the easiest thing just to move me forward is I'm going to go back to using a slice. So we'll go back to the way we were doing this before. And I know that this is probably not ideal. Right? I know this is probably not ideal. But what I'm going to do is, before I append, yeah, so what I would have to do is I'd have to do something like this, is before I append something, I basically have to say if, we have to loop over every current shape, right? We'd have to loop over this, and we'd have to say, okay, for S equals range over shapes. And then what we'd have to do in here is we'd have to say if slices dot equal S dot position, we need to expose the positions. If those positions are equal, we'd have to compare them. But I don't like that, because now we're looping. We have like a lot of nested looping. So is there some way that we can identify our shapes with a unique value that's derived from the positions, like a key, right? Like we're basically creating our own unique hash. I guess we could, right? So what we could do is, since the positions is basically an ordered list of, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, right? Row, column, row, column, row, column. We could just build that into a string and use that as the shape's key. Let's come down here. And let's define a method called function generate key. This takes a shape and returns a string. And it's actually going to return. Can it take up? Let me look at my usage here. So if I come back up here, I'll actually have so this we can change back into a map. Sorry, I keep going back and forth. I was a slice, it's a map, it's a slice, it's a map, it's a map, a slice. So this will be a string to a shape. To a shape. Like that. And then shapes will be equal to the current generate key for current, and we'll set this equal to current like that. And then we'll flip and we'll do the same thing here. So we'll do shape. So the whole point here, if anyone's like, what the fuck is this guy trying to do? The whole point here is I'm trying to avoid generating shapes that are duplicate of each other, or variants that are duplicates of each other. That's the whole slices.collect maps.keys, and we'll pass in shapes. We actually want map.values. Now generate key currently is defined to take a private struct. So what we need to do is we need to actually do a getter on here. And we'll call this position. Although I feel like internally, since we're inside the package, we really should be able to but we're using these methods which return us an interface. So, but we really do need access to. Yeah, I don't want to expose that. I think what I want to do is I want to expose a method called get key that returns a string. And I don't really care if the outside world knows about that. And so now I can do current.getKey flipped.getKey and then we can come down here and instead of generate key, we'll call this we give this a receiver type of S, and then we'll call this get key, and instead of taking a shape instance, we'll call this on a shape instance. And so then we'll do string builder, strings.builder, we'll do for p range over s.position. So now we have access to that private field. And we will say, give me string. So we'll say sb dot write string. How did I just end up all the way up there? Write string. And this is going to be a formatted string. and we're going to have %d, percent separated by comma, %d separated by pipe delimiter, and then we'll say p dot row, p dot column. Oh, this should be FR. Thanks for subbing, man. Appreciate it. Very kind of you. F row, p dot column. So now, if we run our code again, hopefully we have fewer than 8 there, right? Yeah. Try this. Interesting what you're doing. Very nice. Oh, thanks, man. I don't know if I don't know if it's very interesting, but we're basically just making shapes. Because I think the interesting part I haven't even got to yet, which is like how to actually solve the box fitting or the bin packing. Yeah, I think this is right. I think there was only 3 unique shapes before. But this will be different for each shape, right? So if we do, let's come to main.go. Array of shape or set of shape? Yeah, basically we want a set of shape. And so that's why I use the map with the key. So let's see how many variants they are for each shape. So we'll say 4. There should be a different number of variants. Or I would expect there to be a different number of variants. Honti, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. So we'll do 4S in shapes. And then we will call variants equals s dot get all variants, generate variants, and then we'll say for b, or actually we can just print the length. So we'll say format dot print line the length of variants. This, and we'll see how many we get. We should have 5 shapes. 3, 3, 3, 3. So yeah, so I guess, does that make sense since they're square, right? Or I guess let's look at my example. This one I think should have 4, shouldn't it? So you should be able to do that. And you should be able to do that. And then you should be able to do this. And then you should be able to do that, right? So shouldn't there be 4 there? Why is it telling me there's 3? So something's wrong with my logic. It must be somehow I'm building that key is causing me to get main.go, and then let's see. If s.id this should definitely expose its ID. Let's see. So we'll say func s shape has an ID, returns an int. And this is just a function that returns an s.id like this. So we'll go back to main. And we'll say if ID equals, or if it doesn't equal 4, we can continue. Why is this hanging? There it is. So we got 3. So okay, that's not right. So let's print the variance and let's see which one we're not getting. So we'll do for v equals range over variance format.println v. This is where having those methods that helps us print the shapes is actually really helpful for like debugging this, because it's much easier in my opinion to look at this visually. So the one we didn't get is the original shape, which I think that does make sense, doesn't it? Does it? No, it doesn't make sense. The original shape should be in there, shouldn't it? Format.println. What is the original shape? Something's getting excluded. So this was the original. That's being included. So I would expect us to add this one, which is what we did. Then we flipped it. Then we rotate it, right? And then we should flip it. Are we not? Am I not rotating it? Am I not doing enough transformations maybe? Hey Pablo, what's up, man? I've been away from streams. How have you been? I've been good, yeah. I actually was talking about you earlier today. That I hadn't seen you a bit, so I figured you were just super busy with your job. Did you count the original? I think I counted the original. I think I'm excluding something. I think something in my logic is excluding. But yeah, it's good to see you, Pablo. I hope you're doing well, man. I hope the job isn't killing you too much. Yeah. Merry Christmas to you, Gun Highs. I guess I'm not going to see you. You said that earlier, so have a good Christmas. The first rotated one. So right now my order of transformation goes like this. I have the current one, then I flip it, then I rotate it. So I'm doing flip, rotate, flip, rotate. Are you doing flips too? Yes, we're doing flips too. Focusing on the house and other stuff. Nice. Well, good for you, man. Yeah, it's always good. I mean, this is, YouTube's fun, digital life is fun, but the real life is where it's all at. Try rotating first to see what changes. Yeah, we could try that. We could try rotating first. So we could do, we basically would do this. Rotate. Oh, you know what? I think I see the problem. This should be current. Now let's try again. There we go. But these are still duplicates, right? We reassign current to flip. Feels like you are not storing the rotation. Yeah, exactly. You were Pablo, I think, saw it before I saw it. Hey, what's up, Slay? Good morning, man. I hope you're doing well. So I would expect my map to prevent these entries. And I'm also not getting all the entries I would expect. Okay, I think actually for debug purposes, I think it would actually be very helpful to have to keep these things separate. So to have a list of all the things we generated while we were in there, as well as a map to avoid the variance. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this into this. So we'll still return so we'll have, this is like, let's rename this to scene shapes maybe, and then I'm gonna do this here, and then I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna have shapes, which is a list of, not slices, this is a list of shapes. And then we'll do what we were just doing, where we'll say, okay, first we append the current, we say shapes, append current, like that. And we reassign, and then we'll say flipped equals current, flip vertically. We'll say shapes equals append flipped. Whoopsies. Then we'll rotate. So then we'll do current equals flipped dot rotate clockwise. Then down here, what we'll do is we'll just loop up. I know this is dumb for right now, but this is what we're gonna do just to, I want to be able to debug this with a little bit less heartache. So we will do S range over shapes, and then once we figure this out, we can always collapse these down. So we'll say scene shapes S dot get key equals S. And then we'll do this one more time, and if this doesn't tell us anything unique, we'll print the shapes that we're generating. Yeah, so we're ending up, we're not capturing what we should be capturing. So let's For each shape, let's print it here, right? And then let's go back to the main method, and let's not print it here. So we'll say, well, we still want to generate the variants, but we don't want to use them. Ugh, that's annoying. Okay. Yeah, so we never get a shape that we expect to get. So is something wrong with my transformation logic then, I guess? Something's wrong with it. Hey, will these live sessions be available after the stream is over? Yeah, I leave them up as VODs on my channel. They're there. Hey, Sam, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yeah, they're up on my channel. If you just go to, I have a playlist called Streams, actually. That's just basically all the streams I've ever put on here. Let's see. If I can find it. So if you want to go back and watch, you're always welcome to. I know I saw the Primogen actually makes you pay. You actually have to be a member to go back and watch his VODs, which I thought was kind of interesting. I mean, I totally would pay though, you know, if I wanted to go back and watch his streams, if I couldn't catch him live. Let me share, copy. This is where I put all the streams. It might take a minute for them to show up on the channel, but they should be there. I think there's some processing delay that YouTube has to do. There you go. Okay, so I'm not doing something right here. Generate all variants, then weed out the duplicates in two functions so you can debug the output of the first input of the second. Yeah, exactly. Couldn't agree more. That's kind of what I tried to do here. I did it all in the same function, but they're two separate steps now. Flish Red, thanks for subbing, man. I appreciate it. Paid advent of code solutions. That's not a bad idea. It wouldn't be a bad idea to sit down and make some explainer videos. Some members only explainer videos probably would be helpful or useful to people possibly. I don't know if they'd be willing to pay for them, but it would be helpful, I think, to my members. I mean, the code's all free. I mean, the code's all open source, right? So you'd just be paying for me to walk you through how I solved it. All right, so what am I doing wrong? It's like I'm skipping one of the transformations essentially. You can kind of see here. So the first thing I do is I flip it, right? But then why do I have, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't count. But we don't need to count. We can just print it. So we'll do format.println lengths of shapes. Thank you so much. I want to practice my Go skills with this. Yeah, go for it, man. I think advent of code's great for doing this kind of stuff because it really forces you to use a lot of different functionalities and features in the language that are probably you're going to commonly want to know about. There's 8. So this one, where's this coming from? This is some extraneous print statement that is confusing me. It's coming from here. Whoopsies. So there should only be 8, which is what we would expect, I think, based on what we're doing, how many times we're looping, and what the translations that we're doing. So we loop 4 times, and we do a translation. We do 2 transformations every time we loop. But we're skipping over. I would expect to have 4 shapes that look like this. Right? And we're only getting this one, and this one. So we're only getting 3 shapes. And we're just wholly missing this shape. It's like we either rotate or we like flip by it or something. So this is a flip. This is a rotate. So I would expect this to be a flip, right? Oh, but we're only flipping. We're only flipping here. So these are equivalent. Whoops, sorry. Do that. Maybe you just need to iterate once more. Maybe. Paid AOC is just for support. You don't get tips or freebies. I may pay. Stuck at 9. My code is out there. Marcella, thanks for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. Yeah, day 8 through. I don't know. I feel like what you said, Pablo, was accurate. Basically, everything after day 6 was really hard. It was very, very difficult. And yesterday, I wouldn't have gotten through yesterday without chat. Chat was super helpful. Etienne, Oblivious, there was like 3 or 4 people in chat that without them, I don't think I would have gotten it. 11 seemed fine. Really? You crushed 11? Oh, man. It kicked my ass. Yeah, it kicked my... Day 10 part 2 also remains unsolved for me. I haven't figured out day 10 part 2. Haven't tried, no idea. Oh, yeah, day 11 kicked my butt. Kicked my butt. Whew. In terms of paying for solutions, if you want to be explained a solution, why not just 100%. Yeah, you could just probably copy and paste my code or even anybody else's code. Like there's all those solutions in the Reddit thread. You could just probably copy and paste them and be like, hey, can you you could even probably have the AI like translate it from another language. Like if somebody posted a solution in Rust, you could probably ask it to explain it to you using TypeScript or JavaScript. Which one was day 10? Day 10 was the linear algebra one. That was day 10 part 2 was the one where the part 1 was like easy. And then part 2 was you had to use that was the one where like you have to use some sort of complex Gaussian elimination thing. Yeah, and I still haven't figured it out. I haven't spent any more time on it. Okay. So I think I can probably fix this by kind of doing like a brute force thing. So I can probably fix this by just like Pablo said, I could probably just add some iterations. So what I could definitely do is I could definitely do this. I could say basically, since I'm missing a rotation, I could do number of transformations, and then we just say, let's see, we reset current to the original S, and then all we're gonna do is current, and we will do shapes dot append current. I know that's dumb, but I think that would actually fix it, maybe? We're going to end up with a lot more shapes, or like way more shapes than we need to calculate, but I think that will give us, yeah, that gives us this one, which is the only one we really need. We end up generating 12. I wonder, going off that thought, if I double the iterations here, do I still... I think I'll still keep skipping by it. $16. Yeah, I think I'll keep skipping by it. Well, what if I do what you said? What if I switch these? If I do, so instead of flipped, we do rotated. And we do rotated. And this becomes rotated. And we go back to 4. See what that does. Did we get them all? So we have this one. We have this one. This one. And this one. I think we got them all. Yeah. That looks right. Is that right for all cases? I don't know. So okay, we'll leave it like that, and then remove the prints, remove this, and then we'll go back over here to main.go, and yeah, well, I mean, we'll just assume that that's correct, right? I mean, you rotate twice per loop. Hold on. You should be testing with an asymmetrical shape. That's not correct. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Everyone, hold on to your horses. Let me go back. Sorry, I think it says SpecNab or something like that. I think there was some Cyrillic letters in there. So if I screwed up your name, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's test with I guess let's test with, I mean, the only way we'd be able to test this all is to actually to write proper test cases. Probably don't want to do this by hand. All right, so I'm gonna do this. What if what if we do what if we just take like a shotgun approach and we flip then rotate, and we rotate flip, and we do both of those things. Use tetromino s. What is the command for lurking in the shadows? It's !lurk. There is an implementable algorithm that just works from LP though. Hold on. When it comes to day 10 part 2, I tried both the least square and pseudo inverse approaches, but both were estimates and wouldn't work on every larger input without an extra layer of sanitation. Oh, interesting. So there must be some other solution to it then. Maybe they didn't intend linear algebra to be used. But you're saying there's a linear program. There is an implementable algorithm that just works from linear programming though. Huh. Well, I guess I'll have to figure out what that algorithm is and try to implement it. Etienne, rotate 4 times, flip once, rotate 4 times. I liked the rotate 4 times, flip, rotate 4 times. Okay, we can do that. Let's see, rotate, flip. So let's just go back. We can do that. And then this was not 8, this was 4. This got us 12, but it covered all our bases, I think. So you said test with an asymmetrical shape now. So let's do example. Let's see, this is symmetrical. That's somewhat symmetrical. Symmetrical. This is asymmetrical. Let's try this one. This one looks kind of interesting. Let's do main.go, which is going to be an ID of 1. One, 2, and 0. You want to try with all those? We can do that. So if does not equal 1, or s.id does not equal 2, or s.id does not equal 0, we are going to generate the variance, and let's print the ID so we know what we're looking at. Shape ID. Sounded like a record scratch. That was kind of interesting. I think that was the lo-fi generator too. Let's see, s.id. Then we'll just run these. So we're gonna have quite a few things scroll past our screen here. What? Oh shoot. That's because I took out the print statement in here, didn't I? No, I didn't. It's right there. Oh, that's because my logic in my loop's wrong. If SID does not equal 1, or it should be all these. This should be an AND, right? There we go. Okay, shape ID 0. So there's 12 shapes, but there really should only be 3 variations. Maybe it would make sense to not print that there anymore. Since we think we're getting more than what we need, probably. Let's remove that, and let's remove this. And let's do this in the main loop. And we'll say for v, sorry, let me move this up. For v range over here and print us the variance. Okay, so shape 0. I think that looks right. You should have a guy there. You should have the guy there. At one point, you should have him here. You should have him here. You should have him down to the left. Bottom right. Yeah, that looks right. You are missing the L. Oh, yeah, because you're saying I should have one that looks like this. right? You're saying I should have one that's like that, 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 and that. And I don't see that one there. And then you're saying I'm also missing the T. Should I have a T though? Last two didn't get flipped versions. Yeah, that makes me think that, what that makes me think is it makes me think that I need to, it makes me think I need to do this, but then it also makes me think I need to do this, but with the flipped and the rotations inverted. Last row with 2 empty columns plus full bottom right corners missing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try my idea and see if this works. So let's do first. Let's go up here. Rotate 4 times 90 clockwise. Then rotate, rotate 90 degrees clockwise. Then we do rotate 90 degrees clockwise, then flip. And then I'm thinking we do another one that's flip, then rotate 90 clockwise. Because these should be different. They're going to be different. The order matters in which you do it. You're going to get different results. But after each one of these, we have to do this. Because we want to start back at the beginning. So rotated. This should be rotated. Should be rotated. Rotate clockwise. I'm surprised how quickly you guys can spot which ones are missing. Because I don't seem to spot it as quick as you guys. Okay. So we're still missing it. We're still only getting 6. Huh. So that didn't help at all. You're missing the L, and the L flipped vertically. How did your voice jump to 100? I think because I got too close to the mic. That's my fault. Wow, is it really 8 o'clock? I feel like we're making good progress on this. We're basically at this point. This is where we're currently at. Oops, that's not right. We're at this point. So the question becomes, why are we not getting... And my key should be unique, right? Because all of those should have different position orders. Or maybe the keys aren't unique. Maybe I have an issue in the key itself. Um, I guess let me try to return all the shapes and see what happens. So I just want to rule out that my key isn't wrong, you know? So we were missing the L, you said. Yeah, we never get it. We never do get it. So why don't we get it? We never quite get. Could you use the string version as key? That right now. That's what I'm doing. Is I'm using a stringified version of the positions. So the issue is though it never shows up. So the question is, why does it never show up? What am I doing wrong? Just got back, fell asleep. Are we trying to get every possible trend? Yes, that's what we're doing. Oh, really? Do I? I have the L flipped vertically. Oh, this one. You're saying I didn't have this one in the map. That's what you're saying. I didn't have either of these? Yeah. Let's try. Well, let's see. Oh, oops, hold on, that's not how you do that. You gotta do that. You had one, but not the other. Okay, well that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, so maybe the key is an issue. Is it possible that by normalizing... No, normalizing shouldn't screw with that up. I bet I probably need to sort the positions. I probably need to sort them in order to make sure that the key is always... Where's the key? Where's the get key? Yeah, I mean, I could have a couple different ways I could debug this, but I'm just curious if... One, I'm curious if it isn't time to go get some breakfast, because I'm kind of hungry. But two, I'm curious if I need to sort the positions so that whenever I build my key, I get like a deterministic, right, key. Let's see. Also, you could affect a prime number to each position and multiply them to get a unique key. A prime? I don't even know how to do that. You only need the first 9 prime. I don't even know how to do that. You are not wrong, but also Steven wants to figure a solution out himself. I recommend drawing them. Just rotate 4 times in a loop. 2. Flip original once. 3. Rotate flipped version 4 times in a loop. Flip originally 5. How do you guys do all that in your head? That's wild. Can I give you the answer for getting all 8? I think it's more trivial than you think. You had one, but not the other. No, you don't have to give me the answer. I'm gonna try to split this up across a couple different streams, I think. So I've done 4 hours this morning, and then I'll probably try to see if I can't get back to the desk this afternoon and work on it some more. You guys have been super helpful over the last couple of days, though, and I really do appreciate it. I don't feel like I'm stuck, though, right now. I feel like I've made mistakes, right? Which I feel like is like, those are two different things, right? It's one thing to be like really stuck, and it's another thing just to not be writing correct code. All right, let me see just real quick. I want to see if I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do what I think I need to do. So I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna say copy. So we'll do sorted positions equals a new slice of shape, and then I'm gonna copy the s dot positions to the sorted position. Let's see, destination source. Oh, the sorted position. And then I'm going to invalid copy. Argument of sorted positions. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. And then we're gonna do slices dot sort, I believe. I wonder if it's the... I don't know why. I just feel like... Yeah, I'll just do sort, and then we'll call this sorted positions, which is going to be a callback that gets an A and a B of type position. Oh, actually, hold on. I have to do sort func. That's what I have to do. And this returns an int, right? So it would be return new, or no, sorry, return a dot row minus b dot row, and then so we'll start by column and then we'll fall back to row. R alkala, I think is how you say your name. So if if the rows are equal, I guess I want to fall back to the column. So we'll say if a dot row equals b dot row, then we fall back and we return a dot column minus b dot column. So that'll be our sorted positions. That's probably dumb. That's probably dumb to do that every single time we call get key. It would probably be better to like sort them once and not every time we call get key. Sorting in here is stupid. But I want to see if it changes the behavior of anything. Well, yeah, it really changed. It really changed the behavior there, didn't it? Huh. Interesting. I don't think I would have expected that. Also, how is that even possible? So that was definitely not it, but how is that even possible? So we did sorted position. So the only thing the only thing we changed was we just changed that. Very interesting. Very interesting. Which makes me think my key is definitely playing a role in this, and based on Pablo's observation that I got something. So how else could I hash how else could I get a unique value for this without doing what I'm doing? I also wonder, what if I didn't normalize in the rotate functions? What if I only normalized after? But I don't think that's going to make a difference. I don't know. Some bacon sounds really good right now, though. Should be unique results for each shape. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I was thinking as well. It should be unique results for each shape. And as long as my shapes are being built in the same way every time, it really shouldn't matter, should it? But for whatever reason, it seems to be mattering. It seems to matter, you know? So just get rid of this because that didn't help anything. And let's just go back and let's just I want to see. I'm gonna give this one more. I'm gonna give this one more looky see, and then I'm gonna take a break till probably this afternoon. So let's say not seen shapes. Well, let's return shapes. So we know. Copy this real quick. This is at this point I should just write tests. You know, like I think this is a great example where we know we basically we can manually go. The examples are small enough that we can manually go and specify what we expect. We should just write the automated tests and not spend all this time doing what I'm doing, which is like I'm trying to do like manual verification of the results, which is silly, right? It's silly. We're wasting. We think we're saving time by not taking the time to write the test, but really what we're doing is we're wasting time. Okay, so this is what we were getting. This is what we were getting. So as Pablo said, we were missing the L. No, actually, I think we had the L, didn't we? We have it now. We have it here and we have it here, but we don't have this version. We don't have the version of this that's like, we don't have that version. So what is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's the only one we're missing. Whoops. It's not wasted if you get true. It's not wasted if you get experience. But I think at this point we'd save ourselves a lot of time by looking at each of these shapes and manually saying these are the variants we expect, and just write the test case. Right. One, it would add confidence. Two, I think in the long run it would be less error prone than what we're doing right now, because even this is kind of difficult to look at and verify. So I think the only shape we're actually missing is this shape, but flipped. The primes idea is cool. Basically, each coordinate on your image gets a prime, and then you multiply the primes for each coordinate that is highlighted with a number. I don't think we're missing anything in the map, actually. I think the map is correct. I think we're not generating a variant that we should generate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we should have 8 variants here, and we only have 7. So we have this one. We have this one. We have this one. We have this one. We don't have... We don't have this guy. Or no, we don't have this guy, but flipped. That's the one we're missing. It's this one. Are you intending to have duplicates in your output variants? Right now, yeah, the L. Yep, exactly what Pablo said. We're missing this guy. Missing that guy. We are right now. Basically, that's the tack. Oblivious. That's basically the tack we took, was just to blitzkrieg the variants and then use a map or a set or a map to only return the unique ones. that's the blitzkrieg approach we took. Print the keys of all the ones you generate, maybe, but not just the ones that map. Yeah, I think we're doing that. I guess why can't we be really pedantic with the way we generate the variants, right? So we know we want to rotate all the way 360, right? 90, 90, 90, 90. Or I guess we only want to rotate 3 times. 90, 90, 90. Because we always have the original in our list. Why can't then we just flip rotate, flip. Wouldn't that get us all of them? So if we start here and we flip, we're going to get this. Oops, I'm a bad drawer. So if we do, so let's say we don't rotate, let's say we just flip. So then we would end up with this, right? Then, let's say we take the original and we rotate it first. So we'd have this, we'd have this, right? And then we just flip that. This is all I can think about right now. I know I'm supposed to be thinking about programming and coding, but that's all I can think about is bacon. Draw it with just one corner filled. Yeah. I think I need to go eat and take a little bit of a break, and then come back to when I can focus and actually do this correctly. Steven Free Bacon. Yeah, that's exactly what I feel like right now. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do, guys. I think I'll probably try to, depending on what, we don't think we have any plans today. Let me look at my calendar. Depending on what we have going on today. Obviously, I don't expect you guys to wait around on me, but if the afternoon is pretty chill like it was yesterday, I'll probably come back this afternoon and try to do this in a second session. And try to wrap it up this afternoon or this evening. This is fun. This is a good one. I feel like this is in my wheelhouse. I feel like this is complex. Although I haven't actually gotten to the point where I need to actually do like the checking of shapes to regions, so that might be beyond me. But I do feel like I understand the problem better than I did even yesterday. So that's a nice feeling, you know. Let me do something really quick. I'm gonna add my. So ideally we have this, and then in the main.go, let's add a note here that says we are currently not generating all the expected variance. Need to debug this. Write automated unit tests, dummy. When you read this in the future, you are going to want to ignore it. Don't. Past Steven. GG Steven, have some. Yeah, see you, Suos. Have a good day, man. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Cool. So now we can do lazy get, and we can do push that. We'll say C whip on day, what is it, day 12, part 1. Man, it's crazy. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, man. December went fast, guys. I don't know about you, but that shit went fast for me. All right, how many folks are here with me? Smaller group than yesterday. That's okay though. 36. That's a pretty good number for me. Usually it's like a couple people. So, thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate you guys so much. for keeping me company and helping me work through this stuff. It's a lot more fun to program and code when you got some people to do it alongside with. So appreciate you all. I will do my normal end of stream wrap up. If you are new here and you would like to hang out with me, or if you'd like to chat with me or chat with anybody from chat, then you can join our Discord if you'd like to. No pressure, but you're more than welcome to join. No one's ever expected to. If you are new here and you think, if you're new here and you think, hey, I'd like to come back and hang out on the stream again, you can find us live most mornings from 7:15 to, or sorry, it's not 7:15, 4:15 to 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. I know if you're in the United States, that's pretty early. I totally get it. If you're in that, plus or minus an hour of those time zones, I get it. It's super early. All the streams though are up on my channel. There's a playlist called Streams. You're welcome to watch any of the old videos if you'd like to. We spent basically the whole month of November learning Go. So if you want to spend some time learning Go, you could go back and watch some of those streams. Or if you wanted to learn, I guess, alongside me, you could go watch some of those streams. If I don't see you tomorrow in tomorrow morning stream, or maybe this afternoon stream, I hope you have a great, wonderful Tuesday. I hope you have a great, wonderful Wednesday if it's already Wednesday for you. If you aren't planning to be around until after Christmas, maybe you got family or holidays or whatever going on, you got an actual life to go and live besides sitting on YouTube and watching me, which I highly recommend. I wish you a very Merry Christmas Eve and a Merry Christmas. All right. And with that, that'll do it for me. Those are enough words. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Pablo, good to see you, man. I'm glad you're busy. I'm glad work's going well. Glad life's treating you well. Etienne, thank you again for all your help. I hope your chicken breakdown went great. Oblivious, thank you as always. I hope you have a wonderful day. Suhas, I think you're already gone, but good to see you, man. Sabheat, sorry, I missed your message. I'm using Go. So if you're still here, Sabheat, I'm using Go. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Who else? I think I got everyone that was in chat recently, well, at least in the last few minutes. All right. Bye, chat. See you guys. Have a good day. Bye. Bye, guys. Appreciate y'all.